Welcome to the lesson on decimals. Today's lesson will introduce decimals and discuss what they mean and what we use them for. To understand the basic definition of a decimal, we think about them as being a number that represents a whole part of a number and a fractional part, and we describe these all at one time. To get a good visual understanding of what a decimal is, we think about the following. We have a 2, and we have a 5, and we have a dot in between that 2 and that 5. That dot between the 2 and the 5 represents my decimal. It is what breaks apart my decimal number, 2.5, into the various parts. So let's take a closer look at it. If I take a look at 2.5, the 2 represents the whole part of the number, 2 whole parts, and the 5 represents the fractional part, the 0.5. And we'll continue to discuss what that fractional part means when I think about 2.5. Let's continue by thinking about how I write decimals. Well, 2.5 is going to be simply written as 2.5. I continue by looking at 0.8, even with the 0 being in front of the decimal, and a 1.408. However many numbers we have before or after decimal can simply be written and added in. Biggest application of decimals would be to money. We know that $1 is 100 cents or 100 pennies. So in that same way, we think about $6.72 as basically being written as 6.72, although we would say 672. It's also important to talk about the places that a decimal creates. With this number here, we might already be familiar with all the numbers in front of the decimal. Taking a closer look at it, we know that the 5 occupies the hundreds place. The 3 in this scenario occupies our tens place, and that our 4 occupies our ones place. But after the decimal, the 1 is the tenths place, the 9 is now called the hundredths place, and the 7th as the thousandths place. And it keeps going on and on depending on how many numbers we need. Looking at this number, it's also very critical to really focus on how we say such a number, 534, and then 197 over the 1,000. So saying this number, we would think and slowly carefully imagine it as 534 and 197 thousandths. However many places you have extended to the right dictates the number that we're going to use. 12.37, we could say that as 12 and 37 hundredths. Since our last number only goes to the hundredths place, that's the word that we appropriately use. The connection to decimals is very clear and widespread across math. First of all, money. Many of us will be in contact with money for most of our lives, and it's also important to think about it in the sense of data and computations and overall being successful in math.